was basically a lie. Would you believe it? Most of you won't. A lot of people are caught up in fandom. So they can't imagine being wrong about something. What if I told you that this man right here is responsible for a lot of these deals being closed, if not all of them? What if I told you that man, Mark Termini, was the one closing the deals, making all of the contracts? It would make you wonder, what is Rich Paul's job? If you wonder how a guy with no college education, just a high school education, become one of the top agents in the world just because LeBron James is his buddy? Nah. There had to be something going on here that was afoot. And I knew it was going to be found out. Now, we're going to go into this. Hi, I Rich Paul. Me no need no college. Rich Paul becomes an agent. Mr. Me no need no college. This is why I told you he don't do a lot of interviews. He only interview with friends. Friends of, we gonna pat you on the back and throw you some softball questions down the line. Rich is a con artist. He's a hustler, a street dude. He's a street hustler. If I knew Rich just by knowing him, being from the Chi, I know a street hustler when I see one. He's a street hustler. Exactly. Like you just said, bag him and tag him. Now let's get to the gist of what the problem truly is. Now, this is going to blow a lot of people's minds, but for me, it's not. That dude was selling more than jerseys out the trunk. He just can't tell you. He's just telling you he was selling jerseys out the trunk because that's what he better say. But who is that guy? Mark Termini. Who is he? Where did he come from? Now, see, we're out there making a Patreon version of this video. So in the middle of making the Patreon video, I said, I'm going to share this with the Patreons and you guys. They're going to get a whole nother version of this. Okay, it's already in the works. You see, they're already getting the version. It's already in the works. Okay? And yes, I'm Thanos of this. One snap, baby, and it all falls down. Now, what is happening here on this scale? So Patreons, what you're going to get is a more in-depth version of what we're going through right now. Because this guy's looking like the Milli Vanilli of sports agents. Mark Termini is from Cleveland, where Rich Paul is from. He was in the business long before they even came into the game. He's been here since 1986. He used to represent Mark, what's his name, from the Bulls, Ron Harper. He had the Bulls, Brad Sellers. He had all these Ohio basketball roots. All these Ohio players that he signed. And he represented almost all these players coming out. Jim Jackson from Dallas, then when he went to the Dallas Mavericks. You see, what do they need Termini for? Because he knows how to negotiate. He's a litigator, and he knows how to structure contracts. So Termini came on and joined Clutch Sports when Clutch started in 2012, and LeBron James was the only guy there. He announced in 2012 he was going there. That Mark Termini, they got him to come on board in 2013 when they started to add people to the roster and they needed people to do contracts. No, he personally don't have $1 billion in deals. I'm here to tell you what went down. Now, Termini is known as the holdout master. He holds out. If he's representing the client, they're going to hold out. That was his claim to fame. Now, Mark Termini was writing all the contracts when he got there, all of them. Rich Paul did nothing with paperwork. Nothing. Gary Trent, Earl Bockins, Calvin Booth, Pau Gasol, all was signed with Termini before he came there. Damon Jones, who played with the Miami Heat, he went and got him signed to an endorsement contract with a Chinese shoe manufacturer, Li Ning. And Damon Jones was making more money than these dudes who had Nike contracts. LeBron recognized that they were both from Cleveland and told him he wanted to work with him. And Rich was like, yeah, I got to get this guy over here. So in January of 2013, he came on board and they made it official. So he could start doing all these clients. Now he's getting bigger clients. And we're the Clutch Sports Group. That's AD, Ben Simmons, John Wall, Draymond Green, Miles Bridges. Right? He ran the contract negotiations for Clutch Sports Group. Rich Paul has never done a contract negotiation for Clutch Sports. Once again, Rich Paul has never done a negotiation for Clutch Sports Group and all of its clients. Rest in peace to Willie Mays. Rich Paul went and got him because he can't negotiate contracts. He doesn't have any experience. He didn't have any connections with the executives in the NBA. Clutch already represented LeBron James, the biggest star in the league, and you got a guy who has no connection with any NBA execs. He has no experience in doing contract negotiations whatsoever. And now Termini has closed $1.4 billion in NBA contracts. Oh, there's some stuff I'm gonna put on the Patreon too that you guys are gonna want to hear because this is incredible. Most of y'all never heard of this guy. And he's the guy that made it all work. Because without him, there was no Clutch. LeBron came back to Cleveland. Who you think negotiated that contract? Rich Paul? No. Mark Termini. He met with LeBron, Rich Paul, and Maverick Carter. And Rich Paul is sitting there watching Mark Termini do his job. They went into the office, met with Dan Gilbert on July the 6th of 2014. And came out with a 2-year deal that gave LeBron more flexibility and the potential to earn more money. Nobody ever had a deal like that. A superstar of his stature getting a 2-year deal more flexible to the player than to the company. Robert Lanza, who was general counsel for the NBA Players Association, said Mark Termini is probably the best attorneys in the country following for contracts. Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot. It's a lot of, that's going to be on the Patreon version. Well, during the, was it 2019 season? In 2019, there was a big fallout. Y'all remember because I did videos on it. And they were sabotaging that video. This video might do better than those. What's the point of this? The point of this is to let you know you've all been duped. Now, here it is, where all the problems come in at. And the Rich Paul Norris Noel dispute. Y'all remember that? We're going to go into all of this at said time. And we're going to get into the gist of it. Remember when college football, NCAA basketball created a rule that their clients needed to at least go to college? to be able to represent their clients. This comes after a couple of weeks, right after Clutch Sports signed up with UTA. And now that they're partnered with UTA, they have all UTA's clients. They have a sports division now. So United Talent artists have all this talent from their artists. Now, contemplate what happens next? Can you guess what happens after the fact? Well, let me tell you. What they're doing is an old school game. It's real old school, but very vintage. What they're doing is luring you to the spider web. LeBron. LeBron is the spider web, okay? He get the commercials, the sponsorships, everything. So they leverage everything off of LeBron, right? LeBron, who takes all the pictures with his homeboy, Rich Paul, who gets pennies on the dollar on LeBron than what he was paying out to his other agents. Rich Paul's going to take the I'm the homeboy deal, and I get to work with you, learn everything so you can start your own agency, which I'm not mad about that. Black-owned agency, no problem. But LeBron's thinking, I get to spend less money out to agents. So this is perfect. Hire my buddy. He's going to run the company when really it's LeBron's company without any responsibility. Now, on top of this, what our young players are going to do? The young players are going to see this, and they're coming into the league. They watch TV, they watch the NBA, they see LeBron James. And now LeBron James' buddies, Rich Paul and all them, they see Rich Paul on TV. They think this guy's a somebody. They put him on Sports Illustrated for what reason, I have no idea. But these young people see that. They don't know who Mark Termini is. That's just the guy that's going to do all the work. He's going to negotiate your deals. He's going to write the contracts. He's going to make all the terms. He's a sports agent, a real sports agent. This is a prop. Now, this has got to lure, all of this is to lure you to the spider web. So all these people come over with all these promises like they're going to be up there with Bron. No. It doesn't mean you're going to have a better deal signing with them than anybody else. But now that they've partnered up with UTA, United Talent, whatever, they now have this sports division. UTA has a bigger reach and a bigger foundation. So now the NCAA is saying, hey, we got to watch this. This is getting too big. So they came out with a rule saying you got to have college degree to be able to represent these clients. You're doing too much. But they don't realize Rich Paul isn't the one really doing this. So they created what they call the Rich Paul rule, which they did. And that was a good strategy flip by the marketing team of LeBron James. Turn it into the Rich Paul rule, make it about race and a height where people are talking about Black Lives Matter and all of this stuff that's happening, right? So then he says, I'm going to break my silence a year later. After the world goes through a pandemic, now he wants to break his silence and tell the world what's going on. Then everything is starting to come out because, see, Mark Termini decided everybody's starting to find out more about Clutch Sports and starting to find out that this guy is the man. He's the one that comes up with the terms. He's the one that generates the money. So what did he do? He left Clutch Sports. Because UTA, once they got him around, they got other guys that could do Mark Termini's job. They have lawyers and negotiating people that's there. They could do all that. So Termini's job, who designed and negotiated during his whole tenure in the NBA for Clutch Sports Group and his own group, all his groundbreaking contracts for LeBron James, Eric Bledsoe, Tristan Thompson, Ben Simmons. Rich Paul has never negotiated a contract for LeBron James. When it comes to sports economics and sports law, Mark Termini is one of the best that you've seen when it comes to hardball tactic negotiations and we're going to sit out and negotiate. He's a litigator. He knows how to get things done. He has been nicknamed the holdout master. Rich Paul has never negotiated a deal for LeBron James. Oh, I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. He's the Milli Vanilli of this whole game. There's some things I left out. No, he ended up leaving once he started seeing his job being ostracized. Then he wrote a book, Words to Negotiate By. Mark Termini, the real guy that was negotiating deals and contracts for Clutch Sports. As soon as he left, Rich Paul got in trouble with Norellis Noel, saying he didn't want to take this deal. Why is he being forced to do deals? Players are now having problems with the contracts, and they want it out. Who wasn't there no more to negotiate? Mark Termini. Everything changed. It went from this is one of the greatest minds in sports today Mm-hmm. Well, hit the like button, good people. I know y'all just got here. My Cash App is Carcino. If you want to donate, the super chat works. We appreciate it. The support from everybody and everybody who came out and super chat the other day. That was amazing. It was his approach to maximizing players' contracts. What Rich Paul did was shadow him. So they used the celebrity of LeBron to tell the world, hey, you want to be like Bron? You can. This is all you got to do to be like Bron. You're going to be next to LeBron James. Most of these players and young people that signed up has only met LeBron probably once in their lifetime. Once in their lifetime. On top of that, because it's always on top, not below it on the bottom. On top of it, you're dealing with people who don't seem to get what this really means. This means Rich Paul is a fraud. He sits up there, and when you listen to him talk, you can tell he doesn't even speak with the dialogue. Thanks, Quentin Kendrick. What's the chance LeBron's won't be a Lakers next season? The chance of me signing with an NBA team. It's never going to happen. He's going to be a Laker next season. Well, here's the thing. Yeah. Well, why did he leave? He left because he was being basically pushed out. You know, when it's time for your contracts to be negotiated for doing all the work you've done, and now you built the company up and they go to UTA, now they really don't need you no more. Now they can have other guys come in and do it. And they's like, oh, Rich Paul knows a lot now. Rich can do it now. Now he can't. He has other people doing it now. So now UTA got other guys to be their Mark Termini. They got other lawyers there that could write and draw up contracts. Do you really believe a guy that looks like that is drawing up contracts, negotiating terms? I hate the stereotype, but have you seen and heard Rich Paul talk? Do you think that guy is drawing up contracts? Sitting down with moguls, negotiating deals? Do you believe that's happening? No, there's other people in the room while this dude is, drawing with crayons. I don't need no college. They walk in the room, Rich Paul's there, they be, hey, Mr. Paul, let's sit down. They be, oh, okay, well, Rich, here you write down what we're talking about, Rich. Yeah, you'll be negotiating with me. They'd be like, oh yeah, Mark, I know you. Rich is gonna draw with his crayons. Ooh. Rich, pay attention. Oh, I am. They're gonna be, Rich, what you doing? Orange. That's right, Rich. That is orange. Purple. 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 That is right, Rich. Way to go. We're proud of you, Richard. Hey. So Rich is going to be real proud. You know, that's just what he is. So you got to understand, nobody cares about Rich Paul or what he represents because it's all false. Yes, Mark Termini actually played high school and college basketball. He played at Case Western Reserve University from 1974 to 1978. His wife is an attorney and a partner at MTA. He went to Cleveland Marshall Law School in 1988. That's when he graduated. So he did need more college. He went to college to learn law. So now he knows legal sports law. His wife graduated from law school. So she was providing negotiation and legal advice to her clients as well. What legal advice can Rich Paul give you? He doesn't know it. Why would you take legal advice from someone who never passed the damn bar, never went to law, don't know sports law? It's your futures you're playing with. And they know it. So they're using LeBron James to lure you into the trap. But Mark Termini was doing all the deals. Yeah, now it's starting to come together now. All in together now. Like on Screen Fame, we talked about the Superman 2 thing on the Patreon. And of course, Marlon Wayans and what was going on there. Shannon Sharp, I had to go in on him. Diddy being set up by the two girls, the Patreon version of that. And then the girl that tried to set me up. LeBron did what and hid it from all of us. Drake is connected to Illuminati. Stephen A. Smith would do anything for his masses. Then I had to tell it like it is. Drake with the dad pants. The Patreon version of the Will Smith eruption. Well, let's just see how that went. Let's play a little bit of that. Went and talked to Chad Ochocinco, pathetic piece of shit. Yep, and that's about it. Then me and Kwame Brown just did something on him. Charlie Brown Bodyguard Stories, episode 5. Wait till you hear episode 6. Ray J's Secret Life. There's no secret about now. And me and Nate Jones live interview. Join the Nate Jones story. You can subscribe to that on YouTube. And it's very well done. Right? All you trying to do is telegraph your left hook. And that is the worst thing you can do, is have a tail. And I'm like, yep, he's gonna throw the left hook. That's the trainer of Floyd Mayweather, Nate Jones. Drake, real issues he's facing with the Ibiza story. They know that. Possible lawsuits and police reports because they got this shit on file. I told y'all why this dude was out there grabbing itty bitty titty in Ibiza. Yeah, you never saw this on YouTube. So it was Patreon only. The real Tyra Banks was doing this for fame. So she's in no position to talk about anybody. Then the live chat we had after the live stream ended. The Ray Lewis murder trial. The truth behind that. And there's many more. Much, much more. But yes, there will be a Patreon version to this because there's some key things that's left out. Now, when we get into the Patreon version, which we are working on right now, and we decided to give you guys this as basically the first part of this video. So you know all the details, you know everything that we're talking about, so that when we get into this, you're going to see how this affected coaches, other players' moves, everything when we go into the Patreon. So now you know the players of the game. Now you're going to see the results of the players in the game. What results came out of this? What people was done dirty? How they were done dirty? And why they were done dirty? Yeah, that's the Patreon version. That's the version that you're going to want to hear. So make sure you join the Carcino for Life Patreon. But you can't hit the like button here. That's free. The like button is free, y'all. Oh, wait till you read what happened. He said, I just got the notification for the Patreon video. What Patreon video? Because we haven't done the video yet. We're in the works of making the video. So Mark Termini did all of the contracts. He negotiated the deals. He negotiated the contracts for LeBron James. What did Rich Paul do? He's LeBron's homeboy. And I'm saying, if you want your homeboy to have the job, I don't care about that, LeBron. That's fine. I don't care that Rich Paul is hustling people to get a job and you want to pay your homeboy. But you now are playing with other players' lives, younger players, just like you, who believe Rich Paul is the end all, be all, and knowledgeable about this sports agency thing. He knows about these contracts and how they're supposed to be. I hope he shadowed and learned a lot, but I would have sent his ass to college. LeBron, I would have sent him to college, pay him to go to college so he can get his law degree, so he could really be the official article, and then make him something. Don't just put him there in name and have somebody else do the work. White folks did that to us for years. Took credit for our chicken. Oh, the Colonel's recipe. The Colonel's recipe. Colonel ain't cooked nothing in his goddamn life. You mean all the slaves he got in there and all the mammies he got in there cooking that damn chicken? Mm-hmm. Oh, exactly. Now ask yourself why that is. Why do you think they did it that way? Why do you think they said this is such a great idea to put this guy in here? Because you got one guy that can do the job and one guy's friends of LeBron. Absolutely. Thanks for the super chats. Appreciate it. Yes, the Cash App is Carcino. I was watching them as they were coming in. Because what is Rich Paul going to say? What could he say? It's kind of almost like an oxymoron at that point because you're stuck. Yeah, well, we're still working on the thumbnail for the pop out. Uh, you know me, I multitask. So, first of all, this is misspelled. It's Kendrick Lamar for the pop out concert review and all that. We're getting the thumbnails right. So, I got to deal with everybody who's doing this and tell them this is wrong, take that out. I want this changed. I don't want that in there. Mm-hmm. No, Stephen A. Smith lives to please mess. Now, yep. Well, Monty and the players, they were not getting along. When your star players want to get out of there because they don't like the coach and his coaching style, and oh, I got what he meant that time. The guy said the Patreon. He got this video from the Patreon because I shared it with all you guys. Mm-hmm. No, no. Tell me about it. House of the Dragon. I do not watch that show. That's one show I have zero interest in. This really isn't about LeBron James. To be honest, this is about the young players that's coming in the league. That's what it's about. This is about Rich Paul and LeBron. Rich Paul, they're using the name of LeBron to lure in the sheep so they can eat off these young players. Most of these kids are going to have bad contracts. Some may be good now that they signed with UTA, but still, the point is they're using LeBron's name to eat off these young players' name. So LeBron and Rich Paul are eating off these young players coming in the league, laughing. because they're getting paid off of it, even though LeBron has all this money. Now, you trying to say that there isn't a kickback deal for LeBron to have him come to Clutch? Why would he be trying to lobby for Clutch if they're the sports agency he's signed to? Who else goes out there and lobbies for their sports agency unless they're getting kickbacks, right? So this is bigger than LeBron. This whole puzzle is more about the fraud that is Rich Paul and what he pretends to be. He pretends to be the sports agent that's negotiating deals for LeBron James. But today, you guys have learned the truth, that he hasn't negotiated one goddamn deal for LeBron. And now that Mark doesn't work there anymore, he was able to write his book talking about his life that they didn't want him to do because it's going to expose the business of what he was doing for Clutch Sports. You write that book, people going to know I'm stupid. So, by them writing the book, they knew he was stupid. But you can pick on that when you hear him do an interview. You ever listen to Rich Paul actually have a conversation? And you go, this guy is negotiating contracts for anybody? I've never heard a sports agent talk like that. He talk like we about to shoot dice. All right, he memorized some lines, and he'll say a couple of lines, and then he goes off script and just starts saying some randomness, and he sounds like a complete moron. Fear. When people make decisions based around fear, this is normally the results. How many of you knew who Mark Termini was before I made this video? Mm-hmm. Look at that. You see these comments? Nobody did. But you know who know? Brian Windhorst know. ESPN know. The NBA knows. All of these people know. Why they never spoke on it? That's the bigger question. Why no one said anything? Why is everybody so quiet when it comes to that situation, but would give all the credit and praise to Rich Paul? But they have no idea of what they're doing or what's it about when it comes to dealing with the obvious. You might be saying to yourself, well, what's the obvious? I don't get it. To protect LeBron. No, to service LeBron. Because it don't protect him. You know, saying you got a bumbling, stumbling idiot as a friend negotiating your deals doesn't do well for you. But LeBron wants it done because it's his homeboy and he wants to promote it. It's because he don't have to pay Mark Termini. See, if Mark Termini was his agent, then LeBron James has to pay out through the nose. They know we want you to learn everything from Mark, and we're going to make you the face, Rich. Mark's going to be in the background, but Rich is going to be the face because Rich is going to be my guy. Once he learns everything from you, then you're out of here. And we're going to replace you because I don't want to pay out this money. That's what it's about. And when people start realizing what it's really about and start waking up and saying, hey, this is some bullshit. What's really happening here? I don't like it. Now people are going to start to realize the game that they're stuck in. They put you in a very bad spot. Meaning for the young people that's coming up. LeBron's already got his money. LeBron's got his money. So if LeBron got his money, he got his bread. So if he got his bread already, why is he so hell-bent on trying to get young kids money? Because if you think he ain't getting a kickback, you crazy. If it's Rich Paul's sports agency, why are you so hell-bent on promoting it? I know he's your homeboy, who you didn't grow up with, but still, you got other friends with businesses. You don't promote it that much. Not like you promote Clutch, unless you're secretly not just a member or a client, but also one of the owners. But you can't be an active owner and play in the league. That's illegal. Illegal. Which will bring us to phase 2. It's quite interesting. I think you like it. Phase 2 comes around as the what do you know phase. Phase 2 come around. And you know what I see? I see a bunch of people who just don't get it. They don't seem to get it, B. They don't get it. And what don't they get, Howard? You might be asking yourself, they don't get how thoroughly screwed up they are. At all. And not only that, they also don't get why the world has turned their backs on them. Oh, I'm quite sure Mark knows the full drill. Mark knows. He's not dumb. Why there's no ESPN interviews for him? Oh, it's a good 90-degree weather day. They saying, oh man, all these guys do this kind of stuff and they give credit. You think Leon Rose really did a thing? Leon Rose don't look like he did that. Leon Rose graduated from college, negotiated deals. He knows sports law. I'm saying instead of making us the butt of all jokes and saying, well, somebody says, well, the white guys did that to us, now we get to do it to the white guys. That doesn't help. I'd rather educate somebody so that they can really do it, so they really know it, and say, hey, you really know it, you really got the credentials, you could really do this job, than to fake it. No, LeBron has a school with his name on it. It's a public school, basically. It's a state school ran under the conditions and the laws of the state. Yeah, well, people don't really understand that when you hear certain avenues and certain dialects or whatever, why wouldn't you send Rich Paul to college so he can have a degree? Why wouldn't you want that to be the motivation on the goal for what you're trying to accomplish? Right? That inspires young kids. That's saying LeBron's looking out for his homeboy, man. For real. You know, he went out there and he really did the right thing by Rich. He put him in college so he can get a degree. He could really learn this thing. Then let this guy represent you for real. Instead of letting somebody else do all the work behind the scenes, and then you lure all these young 19-year-old kids who want to run behind LeBron James. Oh, LeBron, and then run behind him. What is that really doing for you? What's it doing for them? They're not smart enough to know this isn't good for them. They're not smart enough to know, should I trust this? They trusting it because it's LeBron. Man, it's Bron. Gotta be right because Bron said it's right. Bron said it's right. Then you get a Norris Noel situation. And since then, what have they been doing? Putting guys in contract situations that's not beneficial to them. Now these players are in all these crazy contracts that is not beneficial to the players. None of them. So then you start to ask another question. Why? Why are they involved in all these contracts that are not beneficial to them? They're moved around like pieces to facilitate and make LeBron James happy. You moved over there because LeBron wants you over here now. He needs you to go over there to the east because you helping them win in the west, and LeBron in the west, and he trying to win. So we got to move this player. You clutch. So that means you got to go over here. It's not what's best for you. It's what's best for LeBron. So you have a conflict of interest, a major conflict of interest, where you're not valued individually. And Mark started to see that. He's saying, hey, this ain't right. This whole thing is screwed up. I don't know what this guy's coming in here trying to tell you, what Wikipedia said. People can change Wikipedia, buddy. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, it was crazy. Jerry Jones got a GED. Yep, and Jerry Jones got his own money too, and he went to college. Went to Oklahoma. So it's about what you actually do in life. There's people I know with a GED who are supervisors of companies. It's what you do with it. I'm not knocking Rich's hustle, but I'm like, okay, hopefully you've learned something. You shadowed him long enough. You should at least know the game by now. LeBron James doesn't care about any of these guys. He only cares about his pocketbook and himself. These guys are becoming victims to the highest degree. Nobody cares. That's why. Society is changing. Nobody cares anymore. Everything's a show. Everything's about entertainment. They pushed Jason Tatum so much, they just had to get his ass to the ring. They want to make him a superstar so bad. It's like, we got to make these superstars. Jason Tatum's a star, and you're going to love it. He got a son named Deuce. And they hug all the time. We got to promote that. That's family. Look, he's light-skinned with curly hair. We can sell that. That's Americana. Jaylen Brown got MVP, and he's still sitting in the gutter. He's sitting in the back. He's sitting there like, I got the MVP trophy. Y'all gonna interview me? I have my mama here, my girl. I mean, yeah, that's great. Look, he's hugging Deuce again. Let's get another shot. It's terrible. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Well, when you fall for one thing, you fall for everything. I've constantly told people that. You fall for one thing, you end up falling for everything. If they know they can get you to bite, then what's to stop them from ever doing it again? What's to truly stop? Nothing in the world. Are they doing what they love to do? Right? Ah. I know the world's ready to celebrate the promoted end of Drake. Well, after this, there shouldn't be any more mentions of Drake in any type of conversation. He's done. Woo! So, for everybody, pop it out. I'm gonna have to charge my phone. Get the phone back charged. And then go from there. All right. Appreciate y'all. Love, peace, and hair grease. Shouts out to Kwame Brown, Bus Life, Ticket TV, The Dreamers Pro, The Star Report. Welcome to HDII TV, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, Armando Black TV. And don't forget to go to the Patreon, Casino for Life. Well, Orlando can offer him the most money, so we'll see what he chooses. But until then, I'm out.